someone, ask them too, like what are the things you like to eat, and use that as a starting point. And I usually find it helps if you shop for, like, we get meal boxes, but the equivalent to that would be like shopping for several recipes at the same time. That way you can jump right into making a recipe when it's time to do it. Sometimes if you don't have the ingredients on hand, the thought of going to the shops, getting the ingredients, coming home, unloading them, pulling up the recipe, preparing it, cooking it, it's a lot, and you end up just getting takeout instead. So making sure you plan and buy the ingredients ahead of time, and then you can just make them when you feel like you're ready for it. I'm sure folks in chat also would have some tips too for, starting out cooking. But that's my probably biggest suggestion right off the bat.
I'm gonna make this a split poll.
Split poll?
We are 50-50.
Yeah.
Will J Fry's second pepper be the most spicy? And the options are J Fry K will be A-OK, or J Fry will burn. I don't know why that second option didn't have the K. I feel like another thing is, I know I definitely did this when I was learning how to cook. A lot of cooking videos online will tell you to buy a particular cooking tool to make a dish. Like, oh, you need this pan, or oh, you need this potato peeler or something. And when you buy a new thing, I would try to figure out a couple different things you could use it for. So I totally graduated college with a bunch of potato peelers or lime presses that I knew one dish that needed them. I don't know, maybe that's a bad example. Most of that stuff's pretty cheap. Maybe that's a better piece of advice, is don't feel like you have to buy the most expensive frying pan or lime press. Or
it helps to have, a good supply of pans and such in the kitchen, but don't get the priciest stuff. Just get whatever you can afford and looks good.
There and if you are a few kitchen ingredients that there's a $10 version and a $35 version.
Yeah.
And the $35 version is totally worth it.
But wait until you feel like you need it.
Exactly. I think I'm trying to think of a good example. Usually the microplane, the grater thing.
Yeah.
Those are usually worth sinking a little bit of money into, but it's worth figuring out what are you actually going to use.
Yeah.
It turns out we have gotten by with a $10 potato peeler